The NASDAQ is currently trading above all-time highs. We saw beautiful opportunities, either selling moves, buying moves in this overall market conditions. We're looking into a 4H time frame right now, 4-hour bars combination on the footprint chart with, of course, a technical bar chart where we see the opportunities meet each other, the criterias. Me myself, I'm mainly a footprint trader, of course. So my core focus really relays on the order flow, the flow of the market, institutional order flow, the depth of the markets. Either it's on the DOM on the right hand side right here, where we can see the limit orders, or either it's on a footprint chart right here. If you're zooming this a little bit more in, you can see all the data which is collecting right here, market orders, and on the right hand side you see the limit orders. Like I said, it's an all-time high right now on the NASDAQ. 4-hour chart, beautiful opportunities if you ask me in the last weeks. Either it's selling or buying. Adapt to change, you know. Right here in front of you, like I said, 4H. If you look in the overall bigger picture, yes, we see buying legs, but we also see pretty powerful selling legs. Within this legs on the 4H, order flow traders mainly focus themselves on the lower time frame for execution, but of course don't underestimate the higher time frames, you know, such as the 1 hour, 4 hour, the overall bias of the market. It's also pretty important to understand the overall bias of the markets, and that is why of course my focus, like I said, is on the lower time frames for the executions. I scale down to the 3 and 1 minute, even the 5 minute chart. Mainly I scale down to the time frame for my executions. But like I said, on the higher time frame, you can find the overall bias in price. If we shift into the 1H, for example, we can see better pullbacks into price. And yeah, we see the real waves into the market. You can see the accumulation phase, you can see the distribution phase, depending on where we are in the markets. Even on the lower time frames, you can see it better, tick to tick, you know. So right here, 1H time frame overall buying last week was a beautiful buying opportunity right here, based on this lows right here, value area low. We do have value area high right here, trading right here, so you can see the real pullbacks in the markets. If you're zooming in onto this 1H time frame, you can see price creating a sort of level of imbalance right there, and I will dive deeper into that a little bit later. We, you can see that there's a sort of support being created right there, which is a wall of institutional orders waiting to get filled into that price territory right here. So price is holding back right here, which create an accumulation phase where they accumulate buying orders to push price higher into that territory. And if you're looking lower into the 1H time frame, value area low, which is a very interesting sweet spot in the markets, and you can see that if price bouncing off these levels, and it's not only on technical wise, because we're going to zoom in soon to the footprint chart to show you how price accumulate that orders, where we see the liquidation into price and then bounce off, you know. Uh, Also, in terms of the time cycle, it's very important to notice the time cycle you're trading in. Me, myself, I'm mainly a New York session open trader. So I mainly focus myself into a fixed time cycle around the New York opening. To give you a little hint in that, mainly within the 60 to 90 minute time cycle of that opening, because I know based on my statistics, on my data, that there is trading the most volatility. So that means there is a lot of volume injections right there, based on institutional order flow, and in the depth of the market, the DOM, even in the footprint chart, we can clearly see how those orders get collected and how beautiful they get filled, you know. So that is the whole point of trading order flow. So technical wise, we had that low right here. If we're zooming into this low right here, this is a level of imbalance into price. On the footprint chart, it is a large level of imbalance right here. Within this lows, we see at a bit that there is lots of aggression happening right here. Here we see the delta, which is a sum of a total in the flow of orders. How many orders are being collected right there? Which players are trading right there? We combined it, of course, with the volume as well. Like I said, the volume injections, and this is a historical price level. So if you would draw on level right here, for example, a zone, but this is not no guessing zone, okay? This is based on real data. We see a lot of aggression right here when we're trading below this level. And those big institutions left the footprint. This is a footprint chart. So they don't want you to see the full hand, but in fact, they left footprints in order flow. So they left footprints into this level, which is imbalance into price. And once price trade back into this level, for example, if we would draw this level more to the right hand side, you can see this is a liquid level, you know, and these levels get filled to the absolute T at exact timings, you know. At exact timings. If you're checking this out, check out how much aggression was based on this leg right here, what's happening in history right here. Boom. Once price trade back into this level, check out the timing as well, with highly precision executed right here. Negative delta, buying delta is appearing, so the sum, the difference within between the buying and the selling, and you can also see the delta change right here, which is powerful. And then you see the volume injection as well happening right here. They do it in two phases right here. You can see that clearly right here. So they're pumping the price into this lower territory. Probably lots of DOM is trading right here, depth of the markets. Limit orders waiting to get filled and then bounce off. One last order grab and then buy is taking over again with exact timing. Check this time block right here. Lots of buying delta and then price is bouncing off in higher territory, you know? So that's what I mean. And within this price range, in the pre-markets, we can also see, zooming in into the footprint chart, and we identifying a large level of imbalance, just freestyle. Check it out. Right here. Large level of imbalance being traded right here. We do see lots of imbalance into this pre-market session from the London into the New York. We can see that price finding imbalance right here, you know, and then trading off with lots of balance with negative delta, okay? And then the pre-market is trading lower. We can see a clear liquidation into price as well right here. And again, what's happening right here? During the New York opening, from imbalance, balance, creating back into this level, sellers appearing right here with large negative delta, which is again the sum of buying and selling calculated together, you know, to explain you in a couple of simple words, you know. And then we trading lower into this level. Then later in the New York session, once price hit that larger level of imbalance right here, which were the footprints of the big players, financial institutions, whales, banks, hedge funds, and so on. They push price in this lower territory and then push price higher again to fill all that orders. Check out this right here, this leg. And even for a third time, they bring price back to this level right here, which was, if you're checking this out, this cluster right here, this timing right here. New York, later in the New York session, and then exactly around the same time cycle, they bring price back to this level where they once again left their footprints imbalance to balance price within this level. How beautiful is this? To the absolutely T. Zooming in into this. This is a 5-minute time frame. Myself, I diving deeper into the lower time frames to see even the better the flow of the markets, the better the order flow of the markets. You can go down to the 1 minute, even the 30 seconds. It's all possible, you know. It's of course a personal preference which time zones you use. But just to give you an idea how we read the order flow and the delta difference within these levels, and then we see in liquidation into price during the pre-markets, and then the New York stock market opening move price higher, you know. So they liquidate the price within this level and then they push price higher. Okay. Then a day later, if we sum this up a day later, the complete picture around the same time cycle, that's overall buying what we're seeing right here, right? On the 4H, the market was overall buying, of course, with selling legs. I see that the market in both ways, you know. Either it's selling, either it's buying, you know, and we can trade both ways. Only understand the bigger picture and understand the lower picture. How are the transactions, where are the transactions located, you know? And translate it, keep it in mind, you know, on order flow. Of course, you can be very successfully with purely technical trading, but for me myself, I like to see the flow of the market. I like to see institutional order flow, you know. For me, it's was a real game changer back in the days, once I start to understand the deeper insights of the order flow into the markets, you know. And with day trading, this is so super important. It's no more guessing. Your win rate is going higher. So I think it's an absolutely beautiful tool to understand the footprint chart and to understand the flow, the order flow of the markets, you know, in day trading. Check this out to come back to my story. Right here, you can see that price find imbalance right here. So price moving away from this, left some footprints in the markets on the bid side. Lots of unfilled orders right here. You can even draw on SON right here, which is matching up with the entire story, the entire picture. And then again, in the pre-markets, price trading back with a lot of aggression within this market. So those big whales putting price lower during the entire London session into this lower territory. And then again, price find balance within this level. Price find balance. Check this out. And this is also what I explained, of course, in my education, in my great new book, which I recently brought out, Institutional Intent, 300 pages handbook. It's an absolutely beautiful book where I dive deeper into the entire concept of institutional order flow on day trading, scalping, whatever style you trade. Me, myself, I mainly scalp, day trade for many, many years. To come back to the complete story, you can see how price pushing back into this level, diving lower into this level, and then trading higher again. But again, check out how this is made by absolute precision. From the London session price push lower, then let's draw this on a little bit more to the right on a technical chart. But again, this is not a zone based on a technical chart only again. It's validated on the footprint chart, so real order flow chart. And then once price reached this level during the pre-markets, from the London into the pre-markets, and we zoom this out, we see a hard liquidation in price right here. Okay. Then we have it stacked highs right here. And it's also a thing where you should see the difference into the markets, because we had that liquidation right here, a lot big opening candle, which indicate buying orders. But once again, of course, you could find sell orders right here, you know. But if you're reading the order flow in the markets, it gives you a clear idea from how far can price go. Do I trade into the right time cycle, you know? Do we? Based on that algorithm, do we? Check this out. So we're trading back into this level. Delta is not great, if you ask me. You know, we have fixed criteria for that. You know, I will not dive deeper into this right now within this video, but just to give you an idea. So price was stalling right here. Also delta wise, it was not greatly. So there was a high potential that price will push higher, and it did. It broke to the upside again at the New York stock market opening with absolutely precision. Buying delta, so you see really aggression into the markets. If you're zooming in into this picture right here, you can see that there was lots of bid side right here. Tests this stacked imbalance into price. So this zone right here. And then we see that order grab right here. And once the New York start to open it up, that's where the volume injections come in. Like I said before, volume injections based on the financial institutions, the big whales will orders bringing into the market to push price higher. So understand the major difference between buying and selling orders and in what phases you trade in the markets. Either it's in an accumulation phase or a distribution phase. At what time cycle do we trade? And how much power is really behind that move? And with that, I mean, how much institutional intent is there? You know, that's our 3, 4 questions you have to ask yourself before you're taking every single trade, you know? So see the difference, see the real intent. And that's where I want to end this video. See you soon. Peace out.